This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
Hey, listen!
All right, you guys, podcast time.
Make it so.
It's me, Mario!
I'm Batman. Strong am I with the Force.
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
You're a wizard, Harry.
And welcome to WarG episode 177. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
No Colton again.
Coltonless again.
He is currently, I think, flying back from Hawaii as we record this.
Where he survived, with all that lava.
Survived a real life game of the floor is lava.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's been on his honeymoon last week. To Hawaii. Gotta admit, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
My honeymoon, I went to Provo.
Oh, geez. Like a couple cities down.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you don't know, it's just like an hour south of where we are, so big spender right here.
Yeah. It's a staycation.
It was a staycation. Which really, that's just another word for poor and can't go anywhere.
You're a broke baller on a budget.
Mm-hmm.
We prefer to make it hail. We can't make it rain.
No.
Hail, change.
Well, mine's more of a slight drizzle.
You should see a doctor.
Yeah, I should. Okay, so today is Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
To you mothers out there.
You geeky mothers.
So what we thought we'd do is run down some of our favorite TV moms. Now, I'm not saying necessarily that these are the best TV moms ever.
I mean, but we could put up a good argument.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Or not necessarily saying that you should implement all the things they do, but for one reason or another, we like them.
Yeah, at least an attribute or two.
Yeah. So, why don't you go first?
All right.
We each have 5. So.
Yeah. First on my list, Martha Wayne, because she's the mom of Batman. She's gone but not forgotten. That's my reason.
She was a mom for 8 years, or she was gunned down in an alley.
Yeah, but she's the mom of Batman.
Okay, fair enough. Mine is Mrs. Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
Now, a lot of mine
are dated.
They are. Because when I was a kid, I was kind of a weird kid. I liked classic television. I watched Nick at Night all the time.
Troy's over there with his TV dinner watching Nick at Night.
Pretty much.
Has a TV guide next to him, and
you're not far off. So yeah, Mrs. Brady, because she always.
She's a lovely lady.
She is, and she was always there for her kids, even the ones, that weren't hers, technically.
Right. She did kind of bring them all together.
She was always patient with all their crap. She always backed up her husband, even though a lot of times his punishments didn't always fit the crime, or the morals he tried to teach were a little skewed.
Yeah.
Grounding someone for telling on one of their siblings because they did something wrong.
Snitches get stitches, Martha.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. But yeah, she was kind of she was always there.
She was kind of the glue. Yeah.
Held that family together. So that's my first one.
Speaking of glue and patience, Lois Griffin. With all the shenanigans that Peter gets into, she puts up with a lot. And even all of her kids and whatnot. So I was thinking along the same line as far as like patience goes.
But she also occasionally will get into shenanigans as well. She's not afraid to do that.
Exactly.
So get you a woman who can do both.
There you go.
It's funny that you brought that one up because my second one is Marge Simpson.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Again, putting up with her husband and her kids' shenanigans. Mm-hmm. But she hardly ever, really does anything crazy. I mean, as far as, an animated TV mom...
Yeah.
She's pretty close to a real-life mom. As far as,
Right.
Constantly, forgiving her husband for all his crap. She's 100% devoted to her kids. She always has their back. She's, fought people for her kids, and she's even had sometimes her kids taken away. Mm-hmm. She always fought to get them back. She's a
real mother.
She is. She's one of the best examples on TV as of a mother. So
fair enough. My next pick, Morticia Addams. She's the type of mom that would always encourage her children to be individuals and to do whatever makes them happy and to be themselves and to not be ashamed of that or whatnot. So as far as motherly attributes go, that's kind of, one of the things I would look for in a mother.
You know what? She's on my list as well.
Is she really?
She is.
She's the next one?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she, you're right. She let her kids just be themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do what you gotta do. All right. So yeah, that was one on my list. Back to you.
My next one is Kitty Foreman. Because, okay, growing up, my mom...
Actually doesn't sound familiar.
From that 70s show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. She always, let her kids and her friends' kids come over, and she would always feed for them, and she would cook them. And some of my favorite memories growing up as a child was my mom. She would always get us all these snacks and celery sticks and a big bag of 5-pound bag of pretzels. We had so many pretzels. It was and we'd go through a whole entire bag in an afternoon if we were playing video games on our back porch, or if we were out playing in the irrigation. She was also the one that would go outside, and when we'd been playing in the irrigation and we're completely covered in mud, she would just take the hose and think nothing of it and just hose us all down, in our swimming trunks. And even teaching us how to ride bicycles, and we'd just be out in the in our neighbors. There was a house in between me and my best friend's house, and we would always play street hockey on our rollerblades. And I don't know, she was sometimes the goalie, or or just being out there. So those are some of my fondest memories. Growing up is just kind of that whole mom, just taking care of you as you're being a kid.
All right. My next one, kind of a last minute substitution here right before we started. I did have Samantha Stevens from Bewitched.
Okay.
But I swapped her out with Beverly Goldberg from the Goldbergs.
Okay.
There is not a more stereotypical, yeah, thank you, stereotypical mom on television.
Yeah.
She's the overprotective, overbearing mother. She's way sometimes too much of a mom.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Going driving miles and miles and hours away just to bring her kids cookies or something.
Yeah.
Some random thing. But, she kind of bugged me to a degree, where this whole Bevolution that she's doing.
Right, yeah.
I don't get that. But I do think it's kind of funny where she's got like pet names for all of her kids.
Sure. Yep.
Her little Smoochy Poochie or whatever. I don't know. Like, yeah.
And she dresses like my mom did in the 80s.
Oh, really? With the flipped out hair?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw pictures of my mom back in the 80s, she looked like Beverly Goldberg, so.
Okay. Fair enough. My last pick for Mother of the Year, Norma Bates.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one.
She would go above and beyond for her kid. She would kill for her kid.
Do other things for her kid, too.
Hey, that's motherly love,
Okay,
Troy.
that's... Alright. You're right, that is motherly love, yes.
Yeah, that Norman Bates is a real mother.
Yes, he is. Alright. Well, hey, it's your list.
Thank you.
Who am I to judge? But yeah, my last one, Claire Huxtable.
Okay.
Now, yes, it was on the Cosby Show, and let's push Cosby aside for a second and just focus on Claire. She was a fantastic mom because she wasn't a stay-home mom. She had a career.
Yeah.
You know, she was a successful lawyer.
Which was kind of a little, like, edgy at the time, right?
She was wealthy. I mean, she was intelligent and, you know, kind of breaking down those stereotypes of, you know, African-American women on television at the time.
Yeah.
But even still, even though she was always working, she still had time to sit down with her kids to,
be kind of their moral compass.
Yeah. You know, sit down to dinner to, you know, teach them morals, teach them lessons. You know, she was never, you know, just you know, when she came home, didn't just lay down in bed and with her glass of wine and a bottle of antidepressants and
or pudding pop.
Yeah, well. Yeah, and so in that way, that reminds me a lot of, you were just talking about your mom, that reminds me a lot of mine.
Yeah.
Because my mom was a single mom, but she was always working. Always, I mean, she had to, because she had to provide. But even still, she always had time for her kids when she came home.
Right.
She was never too tired to, you know, fix us something to eat or, you know, to run us up to our friend's house or, you know, something like that. So, yeah, so that's kind of why I relate to her. Now, I do have an honorable mention for worst TV mom ever. And it is...
Well, when you had said this, like, I had a couple of people come to mind or whatnot, and I've got one as well that I can think of. No, but go for it. But I want to see if it's kind of similar.
All right. Well, I was thinking first Lucy from I Love Lucy. Not a great mom.
No, not at all.
She was very obsessed with show business, and even when the kid was born, you know, she was always pawning him off on the neighbor to go be in Ricky's show. Like I said, I watched a lot of classic TV as a kid. But my pick for the worst TV mom ever is Rachel Green from Friends.
Okay.
She was a horrible mom.
Yeah.
After her kid was born, she didn't change a diaper for months. She didn't know how. It was always Ross changing the diapers. She took her kid to her work when she was still on maternity leave because she was afraid that she was going to lose her job.
Jeez. Yeah.
She never let her social life die after having a kid.
She even took her baby to the nightclubs.
I mean, she was horrible. She was a terrible mother. She was never really there for her kid. And the time where you did see the child, she was either kind of ponder off on her mom or Ross's mom or, you know,
somebody else.
Yeah, she was awful mom. And she even became mom on accident.
Yeah.
So it was doomed from the start. Just kidding. I know that's not always the case. They'll send us hateful letters.
Yeah. We're only joking here. But seriously, she's a bad mother. My pick for
but
one of the worst...
the kid's a bastard. Grow up being the next Charles Manson.
My pick is actually Dee Dee Pickles from Rugrats. Right?
Yes.
Okay. She didn't know where her kids were half the time, like at all. You'd hardly ever see her. And then she would always let Grandpa, who was this like sleepy old perverted man, senile,
yep,
take care of him as if that was like good babysitting, and she was doing her part. She was a very neglectful mother.
And when she did parent, quote unquote, she always went to the Dr. Lipschitz book.
Yeah,
you know, she didn't know how to do it herself. She always had to go to the book.
The pros, though. Well, Dr. Lipschitz says.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about Dee Dee Pickles. Yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
the kid is, it's all, the show is about kids getting into trouble and doing their own thing and being adventurous and...
Every parent on that show was crap. Like, Angelica's parents were rich and snobby.
And her mom was always on the phone.
Always on the phone.
Yeah.
Phil and Lil's mom was, I think, a lesbian. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Not saying that makes a bad mom. What I'm saying is, again, don't write our hateful letters. What I'm saying is, like the other mom, she was just neglectful. Mm-hmm. She just throw her kids into the playpen. Like, all right, now let's
have fun. Go, like, I'm gonna go drink a bottle of Chardonnay.
Yeah, exactly.
And go talk to the babysitter.
Yeah. Yeah, they were crap. Every parent on
Chucky.
That. Yeah.
His mom was horrible.
Yeah, I know, being dead and everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if you guys have any other moms that you'd like to mention as far as TV moms go, feel free to,
Speaking of that, I did write on Facebook and ask if anybody had, their suggestions for best TV mom. And then Nate popped up. He's the only one that responded. And said Peg Bundy or Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. So,
Linda, she annoys the heck out of me with all of her constant singing. Although I can definitely relate because my mom...
Cartoon annoys the heck out of me.
She's constant. I think they hit their stride, a couple of seasons in. But, man, she's constantly, singing and just running all over the place.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with this pick about Peg Bundy, though.
Yeah?
Those kids were not great kids.
No!
That whole family was pretty messed up.
Those kids talked back more than any other kids I know.
I mean, Peg Bundy was just this horny booze hound.
Yeah.
That just, she I don't know. She had issues. But that was the point of the show. So
yeah.
Can't fault it too much.
And here we're we asked for suggestions and we bash on them, Nate.
Your suggestion was terrible, Nate.
Worst suggestion ever.
Ever. Okay. So let's take a break. And then when we come back, we got some news, a few geeky news stories. So hang on tight. We'll be back right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
On the historic streets of Ogden, there are two kinds of people, readers and non-readers. Here's where you can find their stories.
Booked on 25th Street, located at 147 Historic 25th Street, Ogden, Utah, 84401.
Yeah, stop by and say hi to our friend Marcy. You can pick up a new or used book, or you can sell your own used books.
That's right, you can get 10% store credit on what they can sell the book for.
Stop in and say hi, or call them at 801-529-7720. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/bookedon25th, or you can email them at marcy@bookedon25th.com, or visit their website, bookedon25th.com.
Be sure to tell them that WarG sent you. Now back to the episode.
And we're back. Alright, so in the Why Is This Happening news, Rambo 5 teaser poster confirms title and fall 2019 release. Sylvester Stallone confirms Rambo 5 is in the works, and its first teaser poster has now confirmed the movie will release in fall 2019. Rumors about Rambo 5 have been circulating for some time. The fairly lackluster critical and box office reception that was given to the fourth film, Rambo, didn't exactly set the studios running for another action movie starring the Vietnam War veteran. Rambo earned $113 million worldwide from a budget of $50 million. That puts it at the lowest earning entry in the franchise, with Rambo First Blood Part 2 easily being the biggest earner by far.
I feel like Sylvester Stallone's going to have to pull an M. Night Shyamalan and have to back it up with his own money if he wants to make a movie.
I wouldn't doubt it. There was talk about a TV series that focused on Rambo's son in 2015, with Stallone reportedly set to make regular appearances. The project supposedly halted the development of further sequels, but the show has never been given the green light, and Stallone even hinted that he was retiring the character. But it seems Stallone is ready to give John Rambo one more shot.
Do you know how old Sylvester Stallone is?
70-something.
71.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, he's right up there with like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's 70, and Chuck Norris, who's 78.
Harrison Ford, who's like 74.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, kind of missed the boat.
I think so. A little bit, yeah. The most recent reports on Rambo 5 indicated that Sylvester Stallone will reprise his role as John Rambo and possibly direct. The script is apparently undergoing final versions by the actor-director, and it would see the character trying to rescue the daughter of a friend, leading him to go up, quote, against the full might of one of Mexico's most violent cartels. While the story hasn't been confirmed yet, the film's first teaser poster is now on display at the Cannes Film Festival, which confirms a fall 2019 release for Rambo 5, now titled Rambo V, or basically Rambo 5.
I feel like not only did they miss the boat, they're just using the name to make a movie. Because that actually that premise kind of sounds Taken, Liam Neeson kind of a movie, right? It doesn't sound like it sounds like a decent movie. But if they're putting it under the whole Rambo franchise, it seems like a money grab.
He goes back to the well for like the characters that everybody knows him for, which is Rocky and Rambo. Mm-hmm. And he keeps making sequels, of these characters. Yeah. And
let it live on a different way. I mean, Rocky was really good and it was kind of gritty, and he's past his prime, he's like in the latter years of his life, and that one was decent, but I really liked what they did with Creed. They still, had him in the movie, but he wasn't like the main focus. Yeah. And I feel like there's a missed opportunity that he should let Rambo live on, but let somebody else do it.
I think so.
And does anybody, I don't know, the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
It wasn't the prettiest war, the most, talked about.
Not people's favorite war.
Right?
If you do have a favorite war.
If I had a favorite. World War II. Yeah. Now that was a war, I tell you, to end all other wars.
And see, I don't know. It's just time, I think, just to let that character die. Let Rambo die. Let Rocky die, which I think he's done.
Mm-hmm. And do you think
even though he's
Creed
coming,
2?
yeah, I was gonna say even though he's coming back for Creed 2.
Do you think that he'll actually die in that movie?
I hope so.
I could see it actually. Yeah, that would be pretty tear jerking if they're looking for some way to invoke the whole emotions again.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a fantastic way.
Yeah, and Schwarzenegger does it too. He keeps coming back to the Terminator franchise because that's what people know him for, and he's making these lackluster sequels that no one cares about.
Yeah. It works okay when it's animated movies because those characters don't really age.
Yeah.
But live action movies, they age. And if they've missed the boat or missed an opportunity, just let it be.
See, and you take a movie like Rambo or Rocky, those movies weren't... I mean, Rambo was like this underdog story, or Rocky, was this underdog story. A classic film at this point, Rambo was about this, Vietnam vet that, felt his country had betrayed him and that sort of thing. And, they were real, like, human stories, real emotional stories. And then you tack on all these stupid sequels, and Rambo just becomes some big dumb action franchise, and you completely lose track of where it started.
And what was the main premise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This damaged guy that can't separate reality from war. And now it's just a dumb action movie at this point.
Yeah, it's become more like the Expendables.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately. Because that's, I don't know, you'd much rather have it live on as something, kind of a classic.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of classics that are coming back, HBO and The Leftovers director Damon Lindelof have been collaborating on a television series based on the popular graphic novel Watchmen. And now we know its working title. The premium television series will not bear any similarities to the movie of the same name by Zack Snyder and will not be a full adaptation of the dynamic graphic novel.
Oh, well, it's off to a great start then.
Yeah, I know. Let's stray away from the source material and see how well that does. See if everybody loves it.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. With production getting ready to go underway, the series has now received its working title. Production Weekly reported the series has been dubbed as Brooklyn. Okay. Details surrounding the highly anticipated... I don't know if it's highly anticipated. I mean, I'm interested to see where they go with it, but it's not.
I would call it... people have a vested interest.
Yeah, because they don't want people to really mess up something they care about.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated project are minimal, but what we do know is that Lindelof's fellow director of The Leftovers, Nicholas Castle, has taped the pilot episode. The overall synopsis of Watchmen is as followed. In an alternate 1985 America, costumed superheroes are part of everyday life. When one of his former comrades is murdered, mass vigilante Rorschach uncovers a plot to kill and discredit all of the past and present superheroes. As he reconnects with his retired associates, only one of which truly has powers, Rorschach glimpses, that's Dr. Manhattan. Rorschach glimpses a far-reaching conspiracy involving their shared past and catastrophic consequences for the world's future. It does not have a release date as of yet, unfortunately. This has, I really liked this premise, and they've done this in other movies now, is you've got these retired people that are quote-unquote superheroes that don't really have powers, that are being taken down by the cops, and it's more of a real take on what it would be like if you didn't, if you were a superhero.
Yeah.
and taking crime and matters into your own hands. I have cosplayed as Rorschach, and I think it would be awesome to get like a whole group together to kind of do like a group cosplay. But I don't know if that will ever happen. Did you ever read it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's pretty dang awesome. I don't know. I really liked it.
No, it is. It's one of the best graphic novels to come out in like the last 40, 50 years. And even the movie was a pretty loyal adaptation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Despite what you may think of Zack Snyder. But I don't see why we need this series.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps if it was like a mini series, I mean, because there's a lot of information, but they're straying away from the source material already.
Yeah.
So it's just all these characters doing their own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I can see make a mini series, you know, of the story. That way you can add a lot more than, you know, what the movie was able to. Mm-hmm. You know, you can add that whole pirate story that's intertwined within it and, you know, stuff like that. So I can see that happening, but...
Could you see any other graphic novels actually making a good, decent TV series? As far as, like, you know, some of the classics. Perhaps, like, V for Vendetta?
Yeah, that could be good. I was going to say maybe The Dark Knight Returns, but I don't think that would work well as a series.
The Long Halloween?
Ooh, Long Halloween would be good.
That would be
You could
pretty...
stretch that one for a while.
For a year, at least.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be kind of cool. Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing, maybe. Make it or adapt the Spider-Man story, Kraven's Last Hunt.
Oh, that would be really awesome.
You know,
I could see that working.
Yeah, I could see that one as like a mini-series. I'm trying to think of some others off the top of my head.
Well, the problem that you'd kind of run into is some of these, you'd have to have a decent budget to do it.
Yes.
You know, it's going to require a lot to make it, like, legit.
Mm-hmm.
You could do one and keep it low budget, but then you'd run into the same problems that they ran into with, what's the one that, like, bombed? That was the TV series that just... What was it?
Inhumans?
Inhumans, thank you. Yeah. Right?
Yep. Hey, breaking news. Fox is reviving Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Yay? Question mark?
Man, if of all the TV shows that they could have, like, pushed and got back... They choose this one?
I don't get what the deal is with this show. And we talked about it before. Why are people such... There's like this crazy loyal following for this show, and I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing a lot of similarities to Trump followers in general. I mean, just mainly, like, not to, like, be all controversial and political on the show, like, on the podcast, but, you know what I mean? Like, this kind of blind following. It's just like, oh, we can't have that. We have to have this. And, like, we need it back. You know, we need more of this kind of stuff on, because I don't even think Tim Allen really cared all that much. Yeah. He's like, meh, okay.
I don't think he did either.
Oh, it's coming back? All right. Yeah, I'll do this.
Yeah. We need more white men on TV, they said.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But also, speaking of that, Fox is also picking up Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's also just been canceled.
I'm pretty stoked for that. That show is hilarious.
That one I understand. It's a funny show. You know, it's a good comedy. Why not?
One of my favorite things of all time, because I love, like, those intros that they have. Okay, but they're sitting down and they've got kind of like a lineup in front of them, and he's just like talking to the lady that's behind the glass with him, and he's just like, now Do you recognize any of them? Were you, like, able to make out anything about them? And she's like, well, the gentleman that was singing, he was actually singing I Want It That Way by NSYNC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, like, he has them start singing, and he's singing back and forth, and they have this, like, great kind of,
But please, it was the Backstreet Boys.
or was it? Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. All those boy bands. Okay, it was Backstreet Boys. You're right. But they're going ahead and singing it, and then she's like, "Yes, that's the one that killed my mother." You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, geez.
Like, oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
I forgot. That's why we had them sing originally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
All right. Original Iron Man movie armor worth $320,000 is missing. The highest worthy of a Marvel Cinematic Universe film, the iconic armor from 2008's Iron Man, apparently has been stolen from a prop storage facility in Los Angeles. CBS 2 reports the costume, valued at $320,000, was last seen by the facility's owners in February. They were unable to locate it in April, and when another search on Tuesday came up empty, they contacted the Los Angeles Police Department. Although the news report doesn't specify which armor it is, footage shown from the MCU launching 2008 film depicts the Mark III, widely regarded as Tony Stark's classic suit. According to CBS 2, the storage facility is extremely secretive, quote-unquote, which of course raises questions about how anyone would know that any movie props, let alone any as valuable as the Iron Man costume, were kept there. It's an inside job.
It was. Well, actually, I was looking around, here just to see if you'd snagged it.
I was nowhere near the Los Angeles area in the last year.
Don't worry, I'll provide an alibi. Yeah, you're safe. Your secret's safe,
It's definitely not in this room in the corner. So don't look. More pressing, however, may be what the thief might plan to do with it now. It's not as if something like this could be advertised for sale on Craigslist. And then just goes on to talk about how much the MCU films have made in the box office.
They have made so much money.
A lot.
All the money.
All the money. That would actually be a great job that I would want to have. Be someone who is in charge of a prop house. Mm-hmm. That'd be fantastic.
That would be pretty awesome. You just get to go walk around and see all these different props from some of your favorite beloved movies and TV shows.
That'd be amazing.
Right? They need to make a museum of that.
Yeah, I know they have a few things at like the Smithsonian.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I know they have like Fonzie's leather jacket from Happy Days. They have Archie Bunker's chair from All in the Family. They have the original Kermit the Frog puppet.
Oh, wow.
I think recently they just got the Puffy shirt from Seinfeld.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think Seinfeld donated that.
Is it just, I don't know, is it just classic things or iconic things that make it into the Smithsonian?
Yeah.
And who really kind of
like part of that? Well, it's part of stuff that has become like part of American culture.
Bigger than, I wouldn't say life, but, bigger than the screen?
Yeah, there's, props and stuff that have become iconic at this point.
Is there any other ones that you think that would make it into there? As far as geeky stuff goes.
Like TV shows?
Yeah. I can see the Iron Man, the original, well, from the first Iron Man movie. Because I kind of, started it all. I'm trying to think of any other...
George Reeves' Superman suit from the original 1950s Superman TV show, I think would be cool. Also, Adam West's Batman.
Yeah. Suit. Oh, yeah. Burt Ward.
Throw that in the Smithsonian.
It's strange, but it's one of those ones that it has to... I'm thinking at least back 20 years.
Linda Carter's Wonder Woman outfit.
Okay.
From the 70s. Throw that,
Yeah. The original Darth Vader
Yes.
suit.
Yes.
I can see that making the cut.
Even
what?
Maybe like
Star
an
Trek?
original Yoda puppet.
Yeah?
Although I don't think that exists anymore. I think that's been destroyed.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because when they recreated Yoda for The Last Jedi, spoilers. At this point, I don't think I have to say that, but you never know.
Yeah.
The only thing that they could find at Lucasfilm in that archive was, I think, one of his hands, the original puppet's hands, and something else. I can't remember if it was like the head or something else, but just a couple
That'd
pieces.
Be creepy.
Yeah, like everything else is gone. So
somebody snagged it.
I don't
know.
Go check Frank Oz's house.
Yes. Rick and Morty is getting a whopping 70 more episodes. I know you're pretty stoked about that, huh?
Yay.
Yeah. You need to give it a second chance, dude. It's hilarious.
No, I don't.
Yeah. All right.
Just a few episodes drove me away for life. It was that annoying.
Since its debut in 2013, Adult Swim show Rick and Morty has become a massive hit. Earlier today, Cartoon Network, so this is a couple of days ago, Cartoon Network and series co-creator Justin Roiland announced that they are making another 70 episodes. The animated series fiction show is a staple of Cartoon Network Adult Swim. It follows Rick, a brilliant but cynical alcoholic scientist, and his impressionable grandson Morty, as they embark on a variety of zany adventures across the multiverse. Cartoon Network didn't announce when the series would resume, and Roland noted that he's anticipating tons of tweets asking when the 4th season will be released. While there is just over a year between season 1 and season 2, and then 2 years between season 2 and season 3, at the tail end of season 4, they did break the fourth wall, which I know you love.
Mm-hmm.
Break the fourth wall and say, like, see you in the 4th season. It's going to be a really long time. After 31 episodes, with adding another 70, they kind of rounded out at 101 episodes. I don't know. I'm pretty stoked because this show, a lot of TV shows, that especially animated shows, they kind of back themselves into a corner. And I was talking to one of my really good friends just yesterday about like Archer and some of these other shows that they had to get away from just being just in the office and kind of branch it out bigger, where Rick and Morty, they've already got they've got tons of different avenues that they could go with, like Evil Rick and Evil Morty, or just going through the space, and they've set up all these different like characters and story arcs that have yet to be really explored or dove into. But this show, I think it's got like a lot of potential as far as different directions, and I hope this like Dan Harmon kind of keeps it true to what it is.
Yeah, I hope Dan Harmon has now been tweeting those people that were complaining.
Yeah, he's like, see, here it is. Somebody picked it up.
Yeah, and is giving them like the middle finger emoji or.
A little poop one as well.
Yeah. The tongue and eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's Dan Harmon. It's like every show that he works on ends up having just so many production issues and logistic issues and legal issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Community was racked with that. Same with, Rick and Morty, every season comes out like a year or two,
Yeah.
After the other. So I don't know why Dan Harmon, why he does that, but
it's really kind of strange. Like, Well, because I think that people don't think that it's going to be gold or it's going to be picked up or it's going to be that good. And then it turns out to be, like, great.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, hey, yeah, we should maybe, like, consider doing more episodes.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the same thing that happened with, like, Stranger Things original. I mean, I guess after the first season, people, like, they picked it up for a few more seasons. But it kind of had it took a while for people to kind of, like, start watching it. So
It's happened with Family Guy, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Futurama, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's take another break. When we come back, we got a couple other stories that we'll get to, but we'll be back right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Joy. Hi, everybody. This is Sean Ray.
And John Irons.
And we're the hosts of Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast. We're a show that has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we talk about movies and TV and cartoons, entertainment news, and every show has a different theme.
That's right. We might discuss anything from our favorite bad movies to who would win in a fight between C-3PO and the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. That was episode 41, a classic. You can download that episode and all of our other episodes on iTunes and Stitcher. We're on Podcast Addict and, of course, on our website, cosmicpotato.com.
It's special guests and movie news and geeky nerddom and nerdy geekery and lightsabers and Time Lords and Ninja Turtles all the way down. So check out Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast.
And we're back.
Did you miss us? I'm sure you did.
Sure they did. Of course they did.
Is that even a question now?
So we have a couple more stories here. One of the stories that I've found that's probably my favorite this week, and I've seen it in a few places. Rick Moranis to guest star on the Goldbergs as Dark Helmet. USA Today is reporting that mostly retired actor Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids will reprise his role of Dark Helmet in an upcoming Season 5 episode of ABC's The Goldbergs. He reprised the Darth Vader parody from Mel Brooks' 1987 Star Wars satire Spaceballs in a voice-only role. Oh, that's upsetting.
Oh, what the heck?
I thought he'd appear on screen. Oh. Which series creator Adam F. Goldberg spent weeks trying to secure. This is what he said. I truly think Rick Moranis gave the most underrated and brilliant comedic performance in any 80s movies as Dark Helmet. I've been a lifelong fan of his work and became obsessed with having him reprise the role on my show. As an added bonus, maybe this even gets Spaceballs back in the conversation, and I can get my dream of helping make a sequel. Launched in 2013 and based on Goldberg's childhood, the Goldberg stars Wendy McClendon Covey, Jeff Garland, Sean. Goes through the cast, doesn't really matter. Moranis will reprise the role in Adams' dreams as he encounters Dark Helmet storming his bedroom to battle with the Schwartz. The episode is set to air tomorrow night. Oh, it was actually a few days ago. In the May 9th episode at 8 p.m.
That'll be... So that's kind of disheartening that they don't have him actually...
Yeah. I thought he would appear on camera, but no, it's just his voice. That sucks.
Oh.
You know why? I bet because if it's just his voice, he can do it from home.
Yeah.
And
because he's somewhat retired.
Yeah. Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a little bit disheartening, but at the same time, it'll still be pretty cool.
That'll be cool.
You know?
Yeah. I was hoping to see him on.
It's probably already like on Hulu or available.
It probably is. Yeah.
Right. Mila Jovovich will be starring in the upcoming Monster Hunter movie that is being directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who also did the Resident Evil movies. The film heads to production this September. The film will have a budget of around $60 million. This movie, I want to see it because I'm actually like really enjoying Monster Hunter, and it's like a ton of fun. But at the same time, I don't know, because I hated the Resident Evil movies so much. I tried to like keep them as their own separate thing and enjoy them, just kind of like, but they didn't follow the source material at all.
Well, and also Mila Jovovich tends to kill any movie she's in. Minus like Fifth Element,
which is like 20, 25 years old now.
Yeah. But any other time she's appeared in a film, it's failed horribly.
Yeah. I mean, I get that he likes working with her because, you know, Tim Burton has his Johnny Depp.
And I think they're married.
Really? Oh, geez. Then he's like, she's like, no, you will cast me in this movie and I will be your star. I will be your muse. And I also think it's kind of strange that this story goes on to talk about just like that they've got this smaller budget, only $60 million.
Yeah.
But is it necessary nowadays? Because a lot of stories that we've been talking about when it's in regards to movies, they like to bring up how much of a budget they have.
Yeah.
Is that like a growing trend for
I don't
whatever
know.
reason?
I don't know why they feel compelled to say, oh, this has a budget of whatever. Like, does it matter?
Because some of the best movies have been on the smallest, on the shoestring budget.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with just how much they spent on Infinity War. So everybody's kind of like, well, it's no Infinity War budget.
Right. Or they're amazed if it's a good film, but they have a small budget,
Mm-hmm. But by throwing that out there, aren't they only setting themselves up for... I don't know, I can't see it being anything.
Sorry. There we go.
I can't see that working in their favor for any reason.
Right.
Right?
No, I don't know. I mean, I can understand if, like, if you're doing, like, the Marvel films or something like that, especially like Infinity War, because it's such a massive movie and probably made had a $500 million budget, Okay, I can get that. But something like this, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. As long as if they do stay, going back to the story, but if they do stay pretty close to the source material, it could be pretty cool. I'm just worried that it's going to be more like Rampage than anything else. Right? These over-the-top, stupid-looking creatures and there's no real depth to the characters.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, okay. So let's take our last break here, and then when we come back, we got one recommendation.
What?
Just one. So we'll be back right after this.
Are you feeling nostalgic about your music listening needs?
Do you like the tonal quality that only a record can provide?
Then go check out Lavender Vinyl, located at 123 25th Street, Ogden, Utah.
Yeah, go talk to Kylie or Blake. They have a large selection of new and used records. They will also buy your old records, maybe the ones that are just sitting up there in the attic, gathering dust. And if you can't find anything, they'll be more than happy to pre-order it for you. Now, you can always find them at lavendervinyl@gmail.com. You can also check out their website, lavendervinyl.com, or give them a call on the phone, like a normal person, at 385-240-0336.
Be sure to tell them that WarG sent you. Now back to the episode.
And we're back.
Have I got a recommendation for you? I know you were thinking...
howdy.
I know you were thinking, oh, Troy's probably got a recommendation or whatnot. He's seen another couple of movies. No, Troy has gone on hiatus. But I think it's largely in part due to your new job.
New work schedule. Yes.
Yeah. Makes it very difficult to watch tons of movies.
Yes, it does.
Fun stuff. But if you're a fan like I am of anime, you'll definitely appreciate this series. It's called Erased. And the main premise of this story, it's really kind of interesting. It follows this boy, Satoru. He's a 29-year-old manga artist that delivers pizza, and his world kind of gets changed up. Well, okay, let me start out by saying he kind of has these little, he calls them revivals, and what they are is he'll be walking along and he kind of sees something that's out of the norm, and then he relives either 10 seconds, a minute, or an hour occasionally, and he's forced to try to, he just wants to. He's looking for something out of the norm, and usually he can prevent some sort of an incident or an accident from occurring, which even puts him in harm's way. The first one that you kind of see is he goes back in time about like 20 seconds, and he's quickly looking around, and he sees this huge semi-truck that's just barreling down the street, and he's on this little teeny bicycle, motorized bicycle, and he looks over and sees him and quickly flips around and has to jump to the other vehicle almost, and grab the steering wheel to pull him aside to where he crashes. But this little boy that was crossing the street and the sidewalk, he is unharmed, and that was kind of what he was trying to prevent. So he has kind of these, it's almost like, what was the movie? With Ashton Kutcher that would go
Butterfly Effect.
Butterfly Effect. Yeah. But this time around, he witnesses his mother. He's accused of murder for murdering his mom. And all of a sudden, when he's trying to escape from the cops, he gets one of these revivals, but he goes back all the way to when he was 9 years old. And it's not necessarily, or at least it hasn't been focused on changing the mother's death, but when he was this young, there was a couple of children that went missing, one of his best friends, and they were all murdered. So he's more so trying to prevent that, because he's kind of narrowed down the window as to when it occurred. Mm-hmm. And he'd said as a kid, if only I had done, things differently or said anything, because she was just in the park by herself, I could have prevented this from happening. So he's going back and not only trying to solve one murder, but then he keeps going back and forth, and he's forced to try to solve two murders. So it's kind of an interesting premise. I think there's a lot of stereotypes associated with anime, just that, you're thinking like Pokemon, and where they're way over the top animated and they're just kind of cheesy and corny, but they've kind of come a long way, that it's more of kind of Miyazaki caliber as far as the animation goes, and even the voice acting. I prefer watching it subbed, but you can also watch it dubbed if you'd like as well. But to me, I like the reason that I like the subtitled ones is just because it almost feels like it is a manga or a graphic novel that you're forced to kind of read the text and then appreciate the art as well, or what's going on. It takes there's a learning curve to it, but yeah. I actually do have one other recommendation.
Oh, hey.
I know. Under promise, over deliver, right? That's what we aim to do here at WarG. Yes. The Mind of a Chef. Have you seen this at all?
No.
It follows David Chang as he kind of goes around, and he's one of those chefs that's trying to change up the game and always trying to be innovative, and it's really kind of interesting because they break down everything that they're making, and it's crazy. Like some of these dishes that they'll make, he makes every single component of it. Like, he'll make, a lot of the times when you're making, like, food, you'll just grab, like, a thing of soy sauce, or you'll grab, like, some barbecue sauce and, like, put it on whatever you're cooking.
Sure.
He makes every single little thing and then kind of puts it together and puts his own, like, Asian twist on it. Mm-hmm. But it's really good. At first, it was kind of funny because I'd thrown it on because I was doing some cleaning, and I'm like, I just need some good background noise. And thanks to Troy, I've started watching more cooking shows.
Right. That's why I'm surprised I've never heard of this. Seems like right up my alley.
Yeah. So I was sitting there, or I was doing some laundry and doing some dishes and whatnot, and then started paying attention, and I just like found myself like sitting down watching and like not doing my other stuff that I needed to get done. But it's really pretty interesting, and it's also got Anthony, what's his name, Bourdain or something. Yeah, it's got him. He's the producer of it, so he's kind of talking over the cooking history and the science behind it.
So it's kind of like narration.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, he's doing the narration for it.
Okay.
So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty dang interesting. I'm already like, I didn't think I would like it, but I'm already like on episode 6. But it's pretty good.
All right, well, there you go. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of anything currently.
Mm-hmm.
I think once I get schedules worked out, I should work back into a routine and actually go back to seeing things, watching things.
But one of the things that we haven't mentioned this, even though it's come out a couple of weeks ago, we're holding off on Infinity War until Colton returns.
Yes, yes. That should be next week.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't already seen it, this is kind of a disclaimer and a spoiler. We're going to be talking about it.
Yes, we're going to be diving into the whole thing. No holding back on spoilers or anything. We're going to be talking about the movie as a whole, everything that happened, our thoughts, feelings, favorite scenes, least favorite scenes, all that stuff. So
stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Go see it this week if you haven't.
Yes. Do it now.
Unless you don't mind spoilers. But judging by how much money that movie has made, you've seen it.
Probably numerous times.
Yeah. All right. Here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes and the Google Play Store and on cosmicpotato.com. On the social media, you can find us at facebook.com/worldwargpodcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our t-shirts and other assorted goodies at shop.spreadshirt.com/worldwarg. You can also email us anytime,
day or night,
at worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. Also remember, you can call or text the show at 385-240-1692. Just leave a message. So, this has been World War G, episode 177. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends. And happy Mother's Day to those of you that have pushed little humans out of you.
That's all, folks.